What is up? What is up? It is me. It is I. I am the greatest there is, the greatest there was, the greatest there ever will be. I am greatness personified. Myself. Yes, 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 Stoney Greatness. And I am here. Yes, I am here with him. Yes, I am here with him. The man of the hour. All right. He is the author, the activist, the philanthropist, the empowerer, the educator, the entertainer,
I can't do
the hallucinator.
that. That's more
He
accurate.
Your king. So show some respect and bend the knee, because they come from all around to see the man with the crowd that hangs 2 inches from the ground. Oh, yes. He is your king. He is my king. He is Kyng Kevyn.
Y'all always make me blush. That has to be the longest introduction ever. It's iconic, but that shit is long.
Yeah, it all fits.
Yeah, in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
No. What's up, everybody? Thank you guys for tuning in to watch another episode of the GreatMines Show. So you guys know we do our reviews. So in doing our review, there are a couple of things that we saw online that we wanted to review. So one is a television show review, and another one is a review on some thoughts of a controversy on Twitter right now. You want to take it away?
So we're gonna start with a more mainstream of a
That's interesting, yeah.
Of a review, I guess.
And they are married. If you think about the concepts behind both of these stories about the straight and the gay and this and so
it is. So a lot of you guys may have seen the rounds as far as Ply's video on making the rounds on all the social media spheres, where he is talking about him being traumatized after watching what he seems like an episode of P-Valley. He seems like he just happened to, after hearing about it, he said, hey, I've been hearing about it. It's about strippers. I like strippers. So I came across the show after saying, I'm going to watch it and everything, because this is how he painted it, right?
Yeah.
And then he says, and then I was like traumatized because, I see, Lil Murda on the stage, 7 pounds of pressure, being all gangster. I was like, oh, Lil Murda gangster. And then next thing you know, I see him in the bed with Uncle Clifford. And then he's like, he called Uncle Clifford 300 pounds of pressure, So, there's a lot to unpack there with Plies, talking about that about that show traumatized him, So, so let's see if we can unpack all that.
So one of the first things that I would like to point out about this story is the fact that Plies knows the name. So you didn't just stumble upon the show randomly. You were watching this show. And there are some amazing strippers on this show. And for that to be the thing that you decide to talk about makes you a little suspect. Because otherwise, just enjoy the stories, because these are some dope stories. So that's the first thing that stands out to me. Then the guy who plays Lil Murda, he kind of like came back at him and gave his 2 cents.
Right. Yeah. So what's his name? J. Alfonso.
Yes.
And there's something else. There's something else afterwards. While the king is looking for that. Basically what his whole response to it was that, he doesn't understand the traumatization. like where was
Yeah, how were you traumatized?
How were you traumatized? Because like Kevin said, he seemed to remember the characters' names, you know.
Yep.
And you were obviously intrigued, because if all you did was hear about P Valley, then you would have heard about Little Murder
That
and
is
Uncle
true.
Clifford.
That is very
that
true.
was something that came out last year, and I remember hearing about P Valley, Little Murder and stuff like that. What's the name?
J. Alphonse Nicholson.
J. Alphonse Nicholson.
Yes.
Yeah. So so he basically replied to Plies, basically, saying, hey, I find that hard to believe, because P Valley it was known. Like, I just started watching P Valley this year. Like, I binged season 1 and watched season 2 as it came out, all within the past like 4 months, to be honest with you. So, and P Valley has been out almost 2 years now.
Wow.
So it's like, you knew about P Valley, because I knew that this type of stuff was in P Valley to begin with, before I even started watching it. And so you knew what P Valley was about. It applies, like, there is no denying that. And J. Alphonse Nicholson was poking a lot of holes. He also stood up for Nico Anand, the actor who plays Uncle Clifford. Basically saying, you're not gonna make fun of his weight. If you're gonna make fun of anybody's weight, make fun of your weight,
right?
And all that stuff like that, which was very stand up of him and everything. So, yeah.
So that's sort of the next thing I want to point out, because J. Alphonse Nicholson is a straight man who's playing a gay role. And when I watched his reply and he said that, he was talking more about like educating yourselves and how like lame it is that you're sitting here like making fun of either a person's weight or their stories that you don't agree with.
The
but
story, But you were watching the stories at the end of the day.
But
because you knew the characters.
But the point I'm making in this is the fact that we have an ally in J. Alphonse Nicholson, the way he stood up and the way he speaks about it. And like, a lot of people can be quote unquote gay for pay, and it's just about the money. But then you have people like this who are literally down for the cause. They're down for equality. They're down for equal rights amongst people, and to end stigmas and like kill all the discrimination.
Right.
So I can really respect him for this.
Speaking to the ally portion of the whole situation, yes, it is very good to have, especially for the Black and brown and marginalized and people of color, gay community, LGBTQ plus QA, you know what I mean, all that community. It's we don't have many, strong black straight
men,
male allies. The numbers are growing, which is awesome. Okay, numbers are growing. I mean, we got Dwayne Wade.
So I mentioned this earlier with College Hill. What's the guy's name? The one who did the beat with Beyonce. Check on it. Slim Thug. There was a moment in that show where he and Big Freedia sat down and had a real heart to heart about it. And he was like, I don't know, because I'm around people who kind of like bash that or like try to far remove ourselves from anything that's not like us. And like, I don't want to be that person. Like, I want to know what are the proper pronouns for you. Now I apologize if it comes off offensive. And it's like, a lot of times they don't know that it's okay to not discriminate and hate, because their society and culture has taught us that if you're a Black man, you have to be this way, and and it's not that way. And all it takes is a simple conversation to get to know the human being sitting across from you. So there are people who are stepping up more, and I think it's because they're educating themselves. The visibility that you see on P Valley, RuPaul's Drag Race, Big Frida or like Big Brother went like you may not understand necessarily their culture because like Todrick Hall and Carson Kressley, like, yeah, we're posh. That's a different side of this community.
Right.
But we are seeing, like, I'll say maybe Lamar Odom's connection with Todrick Hall and how he was so comfortable and supportive. And we see it more and more on TV. We see it in the movies, and we're changing the stereotypes of what a gay man is.
Yeah. No, I was gonna like I definitely think that it's for him. I definitely think that it's a lot easier, to be an ally in part because of the nature of the role.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think, and I and that acting is very intense, especially when you put a lot into a role.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you really inhabit a role, because of the fact that you have to make it believable on down to, the movements of the character. You have to create, a whole person, and you have to be able to, generate emotions, and a lot of people don't understand the emotions. And I think J. Alphonse Nicholson is in a good, unique position compared to other straight men because of the fact that he has the ability and the training as an actor to do this, granted, but he also took the time, because who knows how many other straight actors were offered the part of Lil Murda, and said no,
right,
because they're uncomfortable with getting in touch with those specific emotions that you need to get in touch with in order to properly execute the performance of Little Murda. You know what I mean? And how many of them were uncomfortable with that, or were uncomfortable because they're closed-minded?
Right, exactly.
So, give him credit. You know what I mean? Same deal with the dude that played Big Teak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give him credit, because that role, I don't even know how that man is doing after playing that role, because I know that role would mess me up, like like, because to go the places that they went with Big Teak's story.
But that's the mark of real actors.
Yeah.
Like they're committed to the craft. Who that character isn't who they are. It's a portrayal of someone else's life that doesn't define. And I think like that's what separates you from like a real actor and somebody who's chasing clout, or they're doing it because of whatever.
It's the emotions.
Like they're passionate about their art.
Right. Yeah. No. And they are trying to connect with emotions. And I appreciate that, because, like you said, that puts them in a position to be an ally. You know what I mean? And a more and a more trusted ally, because they understand the feelings at the end of the day.
Let me also say, like, it's wonderful to have allies and people who stand up and speak up for us. Sometimes it's enough if you're not my ally, but you've taken the time to understand me, and you're not hating, and you're not like doing anything to hurt me or my community. That's okay too. You don't necessarily have to go marching in gay pride parades. You don't have to join a gay organization or a house or a club, and you don't have to do all that.
Right.
Just to show support, or just say, I stand with you, or whatever the case may be. Just changing your perspective and educating yourself and not tolerating any type of hate around you, you've made a difference. And you didn't do anything really but just step up for your fellow human.
Right. Yeah. And I think that is the big thing that he was also attesting to, because you're missing the point, you know what I mean, of the show. The show isn't about, a closeted rapper and a flamboyant strip club owner. Right. You know what I mean? Like, right. That isn't what the show is about. The show is about life experiences and seeing life, through a different lens, seeing people deal with problems that you don't generally deal with.
Yeah.
All right. Because let's be real, the majority of the audience that's watching P Valley doesn't have to go to a strip club, to make a living.
That's true. But I think even if they don't have to go to a strip club, I think it's still relatable when sometimes you do some things that you compromise your integrity, or you compromise.
And that's what I'm saying. It's about the life experiences, because
Right, exactly.
we can all, no matter, even though it's in a strip club situation, you know what I mean, and the situations and stories generate and peel off of the strip club, and the strip club situations, the general theme of, be careful who you trust, the general theme of, always, have a plan, you know what I mean, and stuff like
Right.
that there are general themes that, that we can all identify with. We all know somebody who we should have given our total, 1,000, percent heart to, and we didn't for some reason, and it kills us and stuff like that. But very few of us get a chance, like Keyshawn, to let Diamond know that, hey, I screwed up. I didn't mean to. You was the one that I should have. You know what I mean? Yeah, I should have shot Derek and stuff like that. Like, but all of us don't get that second chance.
Yeah.
To say that to the person that we actually feel that with and stuff. So that those situations are relatable. And that's what the whole purpose of P Valley is to speak to, is that. And if you're missing the point if all you see is the quote unquote gay stuff.
Right. Oh my, that's the perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
You're really missing the point, because these are some beautiful Black stories that
Black stories.
Yeah.
How
about that?
Black stories.
How about the Glee? I can go down the list. Will and Grace, of all the gay characters on primetime on network television that are white, you don't hear none of these rappers say anything. The moment there's a black gay man stepping up, being creative, or a straight man portraying a gay man, now the Black rappers and that community has an issue with these shows. But you'll laugh at Will and Grace. Oh, it's cute, it's funny when it's done, but when it's our own people, we hate. That's a deeply rooted self-hate situation that we got to get over.
Yeah, part of that, crab mentality.
Yeah, that was implanted.
Yeah,
I will say.
Yeah,
and maybe extremely hard to break, but it is doable.
Hard to break. We're working on 200 years so
right.
far. So
right. So, the flip side to this story is the other story.
Right. Because it was a little early to pull the trigger on the segue, because you had a perfect segue. It was a little early. Shot it a little too early. So, Kyng Kevyn here mentioned, the whole thing about portraying a gay person, and it actually, him doing it, and there's gay for pay, and then there's acting and stuff like that. As far as with straight guys, as far as portraying gay people and stuff like that, as far as the gay for pay side, there has been a lot of, I would say, a lot of backlash, I should say, to because to a lot of OnlyFans models and Twitter models and stuff like that, and Twitter adult content creators, with the proliferation of content creation going on throughout the world, and basically your fantasies being just one little tap away. There have been a lot of folks who went into business for themselves, and have gone into the business, or at least the content creation side of the sex industry. So and a lot of those folks are quote unquote straight men who will do or engage in gay sexual acts, you know what I mean, with a person of the same sex, you know, and they'll do that online. All right, but they're straight. You know, they'll, you know, collaborate with other content creators, make content, you know, put it out there, make money off of it, but they're straight, you know. One in particular, I don't even, where's my John? I'm gonna pull it up. You got it?
John, a Philadelphia word that means everything.
Yes, it's a noun. It's a person, place, or a thing.
Yeah, for those of you who are not from Philadelphia and you're wondering what word did Stoney just say? John. J-A-W-N. John. Yeah. All right, you can go back to it. I'm sorry.
And that was your Philly language arts lesson of the day. So let me see. Where did I send it? Where did I send it at?
It's right here. It's on Messenger.
Messenger? Okay. Yes. Hold on, I gotta go there. I gotta go to Messenger.
So interestingly, let me give the intro to the story for me and my perspective.
Yeah. Resident content creator.
I woke up this morning, tagged in something on Twitter. And it was from someone who said, I told y'all stop supporting these men, especially this one. This one being Dr. Stennis. Well, he goes by Real Kyng Stennis. I want to thank the gays for the pay. In other words, he is a gay for pay, straight performer. For those of you who may not understand what we mean when we say gay for pay, their sexual identity, I guess, not gender identity, but their sexual identity is not oriented towards the same sex.
Right.
It's towards the opposite sex. But as a performer, they will do things with other men for the work or the money. No, it does not make them gay outside of that. Some may be outside of, but the general term, they're straight men who will do things with men for money, exclusively for money.
Right.
So this guy's a content creator, and he panders to gay men. And I'm like, there's some other people that I want to mention, like Flash Wade, who says he's straight, but he's quick to show you a bunch of booty and him naked in rooms with other guys all the time. He's still holding to the straight thing, and which that's his business. I'm not here to prove a person's orientation or their lifestyle or whatever.
We're not Wendy Williams.
Yeah, so it's not about me proving which way he goes. It's more to say that there are other people who may either have ruffled feathers doing the gay for pay, because I don't know. I think people feel like because you're entertaining me, you have to be gay as well. I don't know. So before we get into this, I told Stoney that I have a very unpopular opinion about this. And this, I think that this is definitely one of those serious conversations that, you know, can get people canceled. So I'm going to tread lightly, but I'm going to say what needs to be said. So do you want to add anything before I give my opinion?
Well, I'm going to say this because, you know, I'm the firecracker here on the show.
Tonight's going to be me.
You know,
I feel.
And hey, we both might be firecrackers because y'all know that Stoney is real as a rock and Stoney says what Stoney says. So this is how I feel, in my opinion, of this whole thing. And basically, there are people who are commenting on his Twitter posts, basically saying, you know, you're not gay, but posting very suggestive content on your timeline with another supposedly straight male. I guess you just have to do it to get the attention and coin of the gay bi community. Then he responds by saying, I mean, y'all are an easy lick. Now, putting that whole, you know, putting that whole, you know, Twitter exchange into context now, you know, with that, I am on Mr. Stannis' side. And this is where I come from on that, okay? At the end of the day, what he's doing is his business. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, you're gonna take how I feel about it.
He's selling a product.
And
the product is the fantasy.
Like he said, these gay y'all are easy lick.
Yes.
We as gay men like to see men. And everyone will tell you, well, not even everyone will tell you, but it's a big thing in the community to go after those straight looking,
there's a whole term,
masculine dudes.
The whole term that is used for
to define that, right?
I mean? It's called trade.
So everyone wants the trade, but then when the trade tells you that they're trade, you're mad because they're the trade.
Why you getting mad? That's what you wanted.
And if you feel like he's being insulting by his statements, you could always not subscribe.
Exactly, because we live in a capitalist society, people. If you don't like it, don't subscribe to his feed. Don't. All right? Because then, you know, what I'm pretty sure I haven't seen this guy. I'm pretty sure he's gifted. He can go make he can go make straight porn if he want to, but he might not be that gifted, you know, to garner attention.
Okay, so who knows? Here's the next thing. You know, one of my favorite performers, Dreamy. Mm-hmm. He's a straight man who only does play back there. Like that's his whole thing. He's married to a woman, and they do their thing. Sometimes she'll take care of him in the back as well. I met him in Atlanta at an event where he was like doing like a Q&A, and he was like, I'm not knocking what gay men do. I am not attracted to men, so I don't want a man to do it when I can do it myself. And he does it pretty well. And he's a lot more accepted, and he knows exactly who his audience is. Mm-hmm. And his audience knows they're not going to get him. Right. So I'm also wondering what's the difference between the two. Why is it that Dreamy here is completely accepted and embraced and admired and cherished, and then Stennis is like, oh no, you're so bad for doing this.
And the thing about it is, I think it's the way that they make it known, because there's a way to go about making it known, like say, hey, this is just solely for entertainment purposes, like Dreamy did, right? You know what I mean? Whereas then you have folks who are what they call more cloak and dagger style. You know what I mean? And you know, it's like, hey, I get it. You're going to come and slit my throat. You know what I mean? Just do it. You know what I mean? You don't got to come up hiding it and then, you know, gotcha. Right. And then, you know what I mean? Like, that's the whole thing. Like, hey, if you straight, say you straight, and that, you know what I mean? It don't mean I ain't going to stop watching you. You know what I mean? I think that
he don't want people to stop him. He don't want them to stop. He wants them to continue. He wants the money. Right. He's not offended by gay men making comments about his body.
But what I'm saying is, I think that the gay community, where the gay men are coming from with all the vitriol and stuff like that, is be straight up with it.
I guess I get that, but why?
I don't know.
Why does it matter?
I don't know. At the end of the day, it's his job to sell the fantasy. You know, because let's be real, and I don't think that people understand this for real. Like, porn is fantasy, okay?
Ooh, I got a question.
It's just not CGI.
I got a question, but you got to ask me. Mm-hmm. Have I ever worked with somebody that I didn't necessarily want to work with?
Have you ever worked with somebody that you didn't necessarily want to work with?
Yes. Why would I work with somebody that I'm not necessarily interested in working with? And I mean, like on a personal level, like it may not be my type, but when you understand business, you understand the brand, you understand what the audience wants, you create. And it's nothing personal. I don't dislike a person, but I just may not have been fully into a person. And it's like, I'm giving the fans what they want. I mean, this person isn't horrible by any stretch of the imagination. It's just, I wouldn't have thought to work with that person. So I'm going to give the fans what they want. A lot of times it's a business decision. There's a lot of people that I won't work with. And that's a business decision. Now, off camera, we may hook up every night. You never know. But it's about what makes sense for the business, what the fans want to see. And if they're eating it up, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep creating that type of content until the fad becomes something else. And then I'm going to do that. And that's not selling out. That's smart business. That's how businesses survive. So,
and at the end of the day, content creation is a business. Okay,
it
folks,
is.
you gotta just respect it. You gotta respect it. And tune in to find out who it was that he worked with. Keep watching. We're gonna say it, but we're not gonna say it today.
No,
we don't know where we're gonna say it, but we're gonna say it. Yes. Keep watching to figure it out and find out. We might even drop little clues. There might be a running gag. Seeing if somebody can figure it out, piece it together like Infinity Stones. We'll see.
Right. Yeah, anyway, so we kind of like touched on that real quick. I kind of like this format. I like this. Like, we're still recording them, so
yeah,
I'm making show notes during the show.
Little behind the scenes peek for you guys. How you like it? You like it? Good.
But we want to keep giving you guys this great content.
Yes.
So while we're in the midst of this break in our conversation, make sure that you guys go to kingfinity.org /pride22. We are closing
1 month.
Yeah, closing in on the big
4 weeks away till the biggest end of the summer party in the country. I'm calling it in the country. Make sure you there, because you not anywhere unless you are in Columbus. All right, the weekend of September 22nd
until
September 25th. All right, and heck, you might as well plan to for the 26th, because we not stopping until 6 a.m. on the 26th. That is when the last party is over, because we going ham
that Monday morning. Yeah, plan to be there. Give yourself some time to sleep, because we're gonna be going all night. It's gonna be a great time. And some of my colleagues are going to be there. We got Understand Trap. We got Zaddy Corvinus.
Oh yes.
Kai Levine.
Oh.
Just and Kendall.
Oh my goodness.
The Naked Chef.
Yes.
And of course, I'm going to be there. So
the King.
And when I say my friends, like, some of these guys are like my bros for like a long time. And we always like to turn up, and everybody is a good time. So you guys do not want to miss this. You're going to get an experience that you were not expecting, and that's a good thing.
Yes.
It's not like, oh, I'm selling you some smoke or whatever. No.
I could say that the whole weekend is definitely jam-packed with workshops to better yourself. Workshops to better yourself in the bedroom.
Yes.
We got a full-blown, club party going on. We have a full-blown, dress up fashion type show gala that's going on. All right. And then we gonna cap it all off with a whole night of sin, and it's gonna be awesome.
Whole night of what? You said sin?
Yes. Let's be real. It's gonna be a lot of naked bodies.
So this part's gonna be edited out of the YouTube version. This might go on my OnlyFans. Yeah, how about we do OnlyFans?
Right. Right.
Anyway,
but yeah, it's gonna be a lot of good time and a whole lot of fun of all kinds. So make sure you are in the building, because on Sunday night, 50 Shades of Melanin party, it's going to be amazing. I mean, all in one building. All the people that he just named going to be
under
in
one
that
roof.
Building, one roof, swimming pool. In a very, very, very sex positive environment.
Wait, why did I just have a flashback to the sauna? Nope.
It'll probably be Nope 2.
Nope Part 2. I'm here for it. So listen, this is what I want you guys to do for me. When you get to Columbus and you see me, ask me what is Nope. So that's the only way you're going to find out what that Nope is.
Yep.
Come to me in Columbus and ask me what Nope is.
And you might get a special prize. So if you're watching this and you plan on being in Columbus, you might get a special prize, especially if you come up to Kyng Kevyn. All right.
Yeah,
at the 50 Shades of Melanin party.
We like to do little special things for you guys. You guys treat me good. I was dancing last night.
Oh.
At a local bar. And the audience is, so I had 2 nights of dancing. I danced Saturday night at Level Up, and then Sunday night at Bar X.
Oh.
Level Up is the hip hop, like jam packed. I got to stand on a platform or the bar to do what I'm doing, and it was definitely fun. It was a live
because
party.
they came from all around.
Anyway, Bar X is almost the opposite. The crowd is more mixed. It's more mature people there. They play house music. There are no platforms for me to really like stand up on.
So you're just walking around?
Pretty much walking around.
Yeah, because you can't get on the bar there.
Right. So, but the interesting thing for me was the amount of conversations I'm like having with people. But
hopefully as they're slipping dollars into your floss.
Yes. They were putting a lot of money in large bills. So I'm like, I talked to the promoters like, listen, you can book me here every week.
Large bill for the large bill.
Let's make this a thing, right? But there were two conversations I had. One guy came up to me and said, my friend told me I need to come talk to you. And like, you are so sexy. But he said, you're such a nice guy. And like, you have this great energy. And like, I'm like, oh, sometimes that kills the fantasy for people. But he just kept going. And I'm tooting my own horn to blowing smoke up my own head. Yeah. But I also like to like acknowledge that it feels good when people can literally see me standing here dressed in floss, but can still see that extra energy. So when you guys experience me, you are going to be entertained, educated, and empowered. It just happens. Right. And I look forward to being in Columbus with you guys and having a good time and having those moments where we can like really bond and connect. That's the type of person I am. I like to connect with like everyone I meet when we're out doing our thing.
Yep, and I'm going to be there.
Being Stoney, and you want that,
living it up and having a good time because Stoney, I'm an Aries, so I'm the life of the party.
I'm a Gemini, so I'm the life of the party.
So yeah,
I'm greedy sometimes.
And if you want the whole GreatMines experience, you will be at Columbus Melanin Pride. Hey, book your hotel today. All right, because at the end of the week, all right, all of the rooms, all right, or the discount that is, all right, the booking discount for Columbus Melanin Pride will expire. Okay, there are no rooms. All right, there will be no rooms left outside of Friday. Okay, because once all the rooms for Columbus Melanin Pride are sold, that's it. All right, there are going to be no more rooms left. All right, Ohio State has a home game, so all the rooms in the host hotel are sold out for that home game. All right, because we will be right in the thick of it. All right,
thick of it.
So make sure that you go to kingfinity.org/Pride22. All right, there will be a link there that will take you to the host hotel site. Book it today. It is locked in at $210 a night. All right, which is a deal, especially in that part of Ohio. All right, during that time, because Ohio State Stadium holds around 90,000 people.
Oh,
okay,
Lord.
So there's a lot of people.
Can't even think of 90,000.
Yeah,
that looks like
it's going to be a lot of people in Columbus, not just for that game, but for Columbus Melanin Pride too. So you want to make sure you got a place to lay your head. So book your room, all right, for that locked-in rate by Friday. Oh, sorry,
we've mentioned Kings. So Kyng Kevyn released his book a year ago, Life of Lust, Memoirs of the Porn Star, where I talk about everything from growing up, traumatic family experiences, to becoming a preacher, to realizing that I'm a gay porn star. All in this book. You can go to go to kevinm.com and order your book there. And also, if you go to kevinm.com, you'll automatically see a pop-up for Kingfinity for CMP. So make sure you guys go there, check out the book, check out some of the other stuff I have up on the site. Get your hotels now. Get your passes while they're there and available.
Passes are available.
They are available. Get them before they're not. Before it's like, okay, we've sold what we needed to sell. So jump in, be with us. Yeah. What you got?
Thank y'all for coming. God bless you. Good night.